Hey, what's going on? Today we're going to talk about the thing that is killing and taking so many of us Black women out, and it's stress. We got to talk about how we are allowing stress in our lives to disconnect us from really being able to live the life of our dreams. So, we know that heart disease is one of the major killers of Black women, and stress is what induces it. We know that we take care of everybody else and don't always take the time to take care of ourselves. We know that we are the backbone in many families, in the community. We're always the first ones to extend a hand. And today, we're going to talk about a reset and how to stop taking care of everyone else and start taking care of ourselves. And I have an amazing book for you as well. I appreciate you joining me live, catching this in the replay. If you don't know, I'm Dr. D, and I help women to live a life of their dreams. We're going to really dig into how to reset our lives, how to reset ourselves so that we can have an amazing 2024. The book that I want to introduce you to or reintroduce you to, if you don't already have it, is this book here, Self Care for Black Women. It gives you 150 ways to radically accept and prioritize your mind, body, and soul. And when I say it is life changing, it is life changing. I was able to up level my full game and live a stress free life in 2023 simply by implementing some strategies I never even thought about from this book into my real life. And we're going to talk about it today. Now, if you're with me live, give me a hey, what's up? What's going on? Connect with me in the chat. I'm more than happy to respond to you and have a whole conversation. Let's have a real discussion about this because we know that heart disease is real. We know that heart attack, stroke, all of many of the major illnesses that exist in women comes from stress. It comes from stress A and food B. And a lot of times we're eating the food due to the stress. So today we're going to really talk about getting reconnected to our history. That's what's going to help us to live a stress free life. When we understand our history and how it connects to our overall well being, we're going to create some boundaries at those workplaces and in our homes. And we're also going to release those feelings of guilt around self-love and taking good care of ourselves. A lot of times we feel guilty. We feel like we're not being a good mom, we're not being a good spouse, we're not being a good person. We're going to release that and let that go. And we're going to reclaim ownership over our bodies, the things, the vessels that allow us to take care of ourselves. We're going to embrace the fact that we are Black women, we can be sensitive, and we don't have to always carry around the emotions of the world and not let other people know that we have feelings too. So many of us are so afraid of the angry Black woman syndrome that we bottle up all of our anger and we're not allowed to be angry. We're going to talk about all of that today. But most important, we're going to be honest with ourselves about what it is we want for our lives, how it is we want to exist, and what we need to let go of and what we need to start in order to live a stress free life. So, come on, let's get started on this journey and let's talk about having a stress free life. Now, first of all, we're not going to pretend like racism does not play a part in it. And for anybody who's just joining me, again, this is the book that I'm recommending to everyone, Self Care for Black Women. If you're on Facebook, come on over and join me live on YouTube at Educators Moving On Official. Join me live on YouTube. We're going to let you go Facebook. Come on over and get these 15 ways to live a stress-free life. So let's go ahead and let's talk about some of the things that create the stress. And give me 1 second, folks. Let's talk about some of the things that create the stress and things that we need to let go of. But we can't do that if we don't talk about the damage that racism has done to us. And so, acknowledging that we live in a racist society, which creates a lot more stress for us than it does for other people. And we can own that. And that traumatic stress creates an impact in your body. It's called post traumatic stress syndrome. A lot of us are not even aware that we're experiencing it, and that's okay. But you've been on the receiving end of race based discrimination, prejudice, hate crimes, microaggressions, all types of things. And we need to know that a lot of times that's what our bodies are functioning off of. And so in 2024, we're going to have plans in place. We're going to do a Sunday reset. So today, if you don't have pencil and paper, let's get out some pencil and paper and let's talk about how to reset our Sundays so that we can have a great rest of the week. Many of us are educators or work in a job Monday through Friday, doing your hours. And so let's have a plan in place so that we can prepare to go into the world stress free and come out on the weekend stress free. One of the first things that I'm going to tell you is that a lot of times, many of us just need to take a deep breath. Many of us just need to take a deep breath. During the day, you are coming and going and doing and multitasking and taking care of so many things. Your mind is racing at 1,000 miles a minute. The first thing you need to do is just remind yourself to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. That's right, Sidra. Hey, Sidra. Sidra says, love the idea of a Sunday reset. That's right. Even on Sunday, we wake up and we're ready to go. We're trying to get dressed. We're trying to get showered. We're trying to get to church. We're trying to get to Sunday dinner. We're trying to get to the brunch location. We're trying to go see mom and grandma. And it's just go, 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 go. We know on Saturday, many of us are cleaning the house, grocery shopping, doing laundry, going to do this, going to pick up this, going to do that. It's always go, 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 go. And so we need to take a day where we just kind of reset ourselves. And remember, we're talking about a stress free life in 2024. And so I propose the first thing to you during the week and on Sunday, and today is a great day to start, is just to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and let your lungs expand and breathe in some good air. And that is going to help you to really let go of some of the things that are running through your head. And then we need to release those feelings of guilt around taking care of ourselves. I want to give you permission to take care of yourself, to love yourself, and to make yourself the priority. We will many times make our children the number one priority. I tell moms all the time the best way to take care of your kid is to take care of their mother. If you take care of their mother, she will then in turn take care of the children. But we want to put the children as the number one priority and then put ourselves as the last priority. And that's why we have so many of us who can't take care of ourselves first because we saw our parents take care of us first instead of take care of themselves first. So I want you to release that feeling of guilt around self-love. And a lot of times society will make you feel like you don't deserve to feel good. You don't deserve to be the priority. I'm telling you, challenge that. Challenge that. Many of us are writers in journals, but I will tell you that in 2024, even on your new iPhone app, there is a new journal feature that was just added, new video journal. And I just started it. And you can do video because a lot of times we don't always have time to just stop and journal, but it's also able to look back and see where you were on a certain day in your life and how you were feeling. Another strategy, and I got plenty of strategies for you, okay? In the mornings when you wake up, ignore your phone. Don't mess with your phone. Many of us know this. And these are just simple strategies that I'm giving you right now. We're going to get into some straight, real strategies in just a minute. These are just some that most of us know, and those some of us need to put them back into practice. Another one is to challenge your negative self-talk. And these are strategies that she shares in the book as well. That negative self-talk, that voice that's talking to you in your head, that only talks about negative things, that only points out all the things that you've done wrong, that replays those conversations over and over and over again, you can make it stop. The perfect book for that is The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. because that voice is not natural. And you need to tell it to stop. You need to talk to that voice and tell it to stop. And when you command it to stop, it will. You know how you do something, you make a mistake, and that voice continually plays that mistake over and over in your head. You need to verbally tell it to stop. Say, stop. I heard it. I got it. Can't do anything about it. We're moving on, and it will stop. But a lot of times we allow that voice to keep going. We also have to stop pursuing perfectionism. We have to stop thinking that it has to be done perfect every time. Done is better than perfect because perfect never gets done. So we need to let go of perfectionism. And then, do you have the friend that you can vent to, and not just only vent to, but we do need to have a person that we can vent to. That's right. Sidra says the untethered soul is the truth. It is a major foundational text for any high achievers and overthinkers. You definitely need to get the untethered soul. It will really help you work through some of the ways that we've set ourselves up, especially around that perfectionism, that overthinking, overanalyzing. The first chapter, I tell you, is a little woo-woo. But once you, as a matter of fact, skip the first chapter. Just go to chapter 2, and then once you get to chapter 3, you'll be bought in. And then the next thing I want to remind us is, let's work on identifying what part of our inner child needs to be healed. Like, a lot of us are carrying things that we really need to let go. Some of us are carrying around injuries and wounds and wrongs that were done to us when we were 8, 9, 12 years old. And I'm not saying that those things are not important, but what I am saying that at 45, that's not serving you anymore. That's in the past. We don't have to live in the past. We can let that go. It happened and it was wrong. And so do the work that you need to do to let that go. And again, we're talking about how to live stress free in 2024. You can't live stress free in 2024 if you're still harping and hanging on to what happened to you when you were 14. Some of us didn't have the parents that we wanted or the parents that we needed. And that's okay. They were not able to give you what you needed. And now that you are a grown adult, the best thing that you can do is try to give your child what they need. And a lot of times the thing that they need is a strong, happy, healthy, healed parent, not the parent who is stressed out, running around trying to be validated by everybody, trying to make sure that you're people pleasing and taking care of everybody else and doing everything so that people can say that you're a good person. And y'all go ahead and press that thumbs up button. I see I got folks on here with me live. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up so that this video can spread to other people, because that's the way the algorithm works. Another thing that we have to start doing is stop policing our speech. We are so busy trying to monitor every single word that comes out of our mouth. We are so busy trying to make sure that we are articulating every word so that people don't think that we're ignorant, so that people don't think that we're less than. Guess what? Your value does not come from the way that you speak. Your value comes from within. And so once we own that, that's stress. Having to meticulously think about every single word that's going to come out of your mouth. You got to monitor every thought before it transmits out of your mouth. That is a major level of stress that other races do not have to deal with. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do it either. You can be your authentic self. You should not be identified as one person at work and then another person at home. You need to be able to be the same person at work as you are at home. And then we got to talk about a bit of the setting boundaries with yourself, not with other people. We will let people talk to us crazy. We will let people play in our faces, and we don't want to say anything because we don't want to hurt their feelings. We don't want them to think that we're mean. We don't want to be the one creating a problem. You can appropriately and professionally say, I don't agree, and I'm going to step away from this conversation because it's making me feel a certain way. It's okay for you to say that. It's perfectly normal for you to be able to have feelings, because when you don't do that, what does it do? It creates a bunch of stress. You're getting internally frustrated. You can't release that frustration. And now every time you see that person, you're having this conversation play back over in your head. All of these microaggressions and things, you can step away from them. You can voice that I don't like the way this conversation is going. And it's okay for you to agree, because a lot of times we don't even get to process the racism that we encounter on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. We just deal with it and keep going. And again, that contributes to our stress. So we need to create boundaries within ourselves, things that you're not going to do, things that you're not going to allow, things that you're not going to let into your life. And when you have that boundary, it's like the fence around your house. No one should be opening that gate coming in without your permission. No one should be just walking into your house without your permission. And you need those same type of boundaries at work. Many of us, again, stress free, we're holding our urine at school. Many, and I'm talking to educators. We're at work and you won't even relieve yourself because you're so concerned with the kids in the classroom and inconveniencing someone else that you will not even go to the restroom all day long because you didn't want to inconvenience anyone else, but you're inconveniencing your body, you're inconveniencing your bladder. That's not caring for yourself. Instead of calling the office and I need somebody to come in and watch my room for 5-10 minutes, going next door saying I need to go to the restroom, can you step out here and watch my room, and letting people know, yes, your health has to be your priority. And we will put our own health at the bottom of the totem pole. And I understand it. I was a teacher too. But you know what? I had to say to myself, I am holding my bladder for 6 hours because I would not go to the bathroom from the time I got to school until the time I left. Do you know what type of damage that's doing to your bladder, to yourself? And do you know what that says about you as a person, about how much you care about yourself? And then we make up these excuses. I don't like to use the bathroom in public. Oh, but you do like to destroy your bladder and to create major health problems for yourself. So I want us to think about that. And this is a part of that stress free life. And then again, stress free for 2024. Look here, a lot of us, we show up to stuff and we do things just so that we can be a representative in the building. I was just talking to a friend of mine and she said she joined a committee because there were no other Black people on the committee and she needed to be there to represent the Black people. And while that is honorable, I want to encourage you, don't feel like you have to be the token Black girl. Don't feel like you have to be the representative. Don't feel like you have to show up. If it's inconveniencing your schedule, if it's putting pressure on you, if it's stressing you out, because that is very stressful, being the only Black person trying to speak for all of the Black people in the organization, that's stressful on you. I'm just trying to tell you how to have a stress-free 2024. Somebody has to do it, but that somebody does not have to be you. The other thing that I'm going to advise is for those who need therapy, find a Black therapist. We need to stop settling when it comes to our health. We will find the perfect hairstylist. We'll find the perfect salon. We'll find the person, we'll jump chair to chair to chair in order to find the stylist who will do what we need to do. We will find the perfect makeup artist. We will find the perfect nail tech. But when it comes to our health, we will do any, mini, mighty, mo, pick a doctor, go. They mistreat you, talk to you, ignore you, and don't take your well-being into account. And you keep going back to them because you say that's your doctor. No, the doctor works for you. And if you don't like the doctor, go find another one. Many of us need to have Black women doctors. You are a Black woman. A male cannot tell you what it's like to go through menopause. A male cannot tell you what it's like to have children. They have not experienced the type of pain that we've experienced, and they don't know what it's like to exist as a Black woman. So when you are looking for a therapist, an OBGYN, a medical professional, why not put in the effort to try to find a Black woman? And if you have an experience with a Black woman and it's not a good one, don't hold all Black women in account for that. Hold that woman accountable for it and go find another one. Ask around for doctors and therapists the same way you ask around for hairstylists and nail techs. And this is going to help you to have a stress-free 2024, because when you have an issue, you're someone who can relate to you will be able to help you in this situation. When you're talking about the issues that you're experiencing, they're going to know that you're not making this up or creating drama in your own life. The other thing that I'm going to tell you is that we got to cut people off emotionally. Cut them off, cut those emotionally immature people off, those people who cannot control their emotions. I tell you what, I had a friend, someone, an associate more so, and she was emotionally immature. She was fun to be around, but anytime an issue came up, she would turn it into some big drama. She would become the victim. She would get to crying and carrying on over something that was so minor. She wouldn't take responsibility. She wouldn't be accountable. She wouldn't do the things that needed to be done, but then she would want to complain. It was stressing me out. It was dragging me down because here I am steady, trying to be supportive, trying to give recommendations, trying to suggest things, and she's emotionally immature. She can't handle her own emotions. One day she's laughing and joking, the next day she's crying, the next day she's frustrated and angry, all over the same event. We're still at the same event. We still have the same situation happening, but she hasn't done anything to try to solve the problem. She hasn't tried to talk to the person who she's angry at. She hasn't tried to be proactive in anything, and she continues to deal with the people. This is critical for your own journey, that when people go from 0 to 100 instantly. That was her. Like, we will be having a fun loving conversation, and then you say one word and she just went from 0 to 100, and it's like, oh my god, they lack the ability to self-regulate, and you're on the brunt of it. They can't effectively communicate. You're receiving the brunt of that. You need to cut those people off because they're emotionally immature. They're wearing you down, and I call them energy vampires. They soak up all of your energy, and you're no longer able to enjoy the conversation or the experience or the event because they've soaked up all of your energy. And then the other thing that I'm gonna tell you guys is, some people are always in the process of healing. They're always in the process of healing, of growing, of therapy, of taking care of themselves. Sometimes you just need to take a break from that. Sometimes you just need to take a break and just live your life and have a good time. And so, saying no is going to be essential. Being able to say no. And the way that I say no to people, I let them know I need to say no to you in order to say yes to myself. Anybody who cannot deal with that, anybody who cannot understand, I need to say no to you in order to say yes to me, and they tell you, no, you got to say yes to me. They don't care about you, and you should have no problem whatsoever cutting them off and being like, oh, no, you don't care about me. You care about you. Another thing that we do that creates stress in our lives is that we make ourselves smaller so that other people can feel better. We make ourselves smaller so that other people can feel better. And so we do this because we diminish our actions, our accolades, our awards. We diminish our presence. We will not speak up in a group because we don't want somebody else to feel bad. We will sit away from people in order to make them more comfortable. No, I'll never forget, at my Iman Live 2022, we had a girl named Selena, and Selena is overweight, and she came to the event, and after the presentations, and Selena is a beautiful woman, and we as Black women, we tend to be voluptuous, and that's okay. We come in all shapes and sizes. And so at the event, she said, you know what? I was on that plane and I was trying to be invisible. She said, because I didn't want people looking at me. I didn't want people staring at me. I felt bad for the person who was sitting next to me. She said, and I should have been feeling bad for myself because here I am crunched up in this seat trying to be small, and I'm not small. She said, my new motto for next year is to take up space. And it was so real. I felt every word of what she was saying because I see Black women do it every single day. They try to play small, they try to be invisible, go into the cracks in the wall just to make other people comfortable when they are uncomfortable themselves. It is time for you to take up space. And when Selena realized that about herself, she showed up as a whole new and different type of person, and her voice came through in a different way. And so some of us just need to stop playing small and take up space. Let me give you another tip on how to live stress free in 2024. We need to ignore some of this stuff on the news. Some of us need to stop watching the news altogether. It's going to be a catastrophe every single day, and you don't need to be aware of all of them. If you're in, I'm in Missouri, and I can't tell you any, I didn't even know there was a snowstorm happening in Oregon, because guess what? We take on things that we don't have to take on. Y'all give me the like button. Go ahead, press the like button and subscribe to the channel. We need y'all to subscribe. Come on over now, subscribe to us, because I'm telling you how to live a stress-free life in 2024. We just got to take the time, sit here and join me in this live, add some comments to the chat so we can get this algorithm going. And let's talk about how to live a stress-free life in 2024. And if you have suggestions for other people, put it in the chat. What are you doing to live a stress-free life in 2024? What did you have to let go of? And what are you embracing in 2024 that's going to make your life filled with happiness, joy, and peace? So 2024, living a stress-free life. We're no longer being the superwoman. We're taking off the cape. We are making ourselves the priority. We are coming through with all main character energy. So tell me in the chat, what are you letting go of in 2024? Let me tell you, I let go of the news in 2023. I think it was in 2022. I stopped watching the news. I don't watch the news at all. I have a husband, and he tells me some of the major catastrophes that have happened. But guess what? My life is the same. My life is the same. I can't do anything about the stuff that's happening in California. I cannot do anything about the stuff that's happening in Oregon. And some of us spending our days just worrying about everything that happens everywhere else, creating your own stress. Ignore the news, and definitely ignore race related news. Another thing that I had to let go of, and I'm sorry, I did. I had to let go of my interactions with some people, mainly white people, who didn't have my best intentions at heart. So some people are well-meaning, and then some people are just blinded to what's happening. And I stopped trying to educate them on racism. I stopped trying to help them to understand what it's like to be a Black woman. I was talking to a lady the other day, and she said, I just don't understand why Black people act like they can't be financially literate. And I looked her in her face and I said, do you know that there's a Black woman right now, that is in the news right now because Wells Fargo took $75,000 from her. They know it's her money. They closed her account, took her money. She cannot pay her mortgage, her rent, or anything. She got a lawyer. They're sending her through all types of loops and all types of stuff. And now she's about to be evicted because she hasn't been able to pay her house note. Had that been a white woman, she would not have this issue. They showed on the news all of her bank statements, all of her account statements. The bank accidentally closed her account. And now they're saying they can't find the account and they have no record of her account, although she has all of the record and reporting from her account. This is a Black lady. And you want to tell me why you don't understand why Black people just can't be financially literate? Every time we turn around, it's dangerous for some of us out there. It's dangerous for all of us because it's not created equal. That's a level of stress that this woman has had to endure due to no fault of her own. And had that been a white woman, they would have taken care of that instantly, immediately. They would not be distrusting of her and not believing her. I'm just saying, I can't talk to people like that because it creates a stress in me, and I shouldn't be responsible for needing to educate you on the injustices that are happening, that you see on the news, that you encounter, that you hear in your friend group. So I had to let go of those relationships in order to take care of my own health, my own sanity. And I suggest that for you too. So, and then I also had to stop being other people's dumping ground. It's a lot of us who, when we pick up the phone, we already know our friend calling the vent. All she do is complain. All she do is talk about her boyfriend and what he did. I had to let that go. That is draining. And so that person is really taking advantage of you. And we act like we don't know it. They're taking advantage of you. They are everywhere. They're in your family. They're in your friend groups. They're at your job. They're everywhere. They will suck you dry of your knowledge. First of all, they'll take everything that you have, suck you dry of all of your knowledge, all of your recommendations, all of your things. They will suck you dry of your time. That's right. Monique said, fight. She's giving up fighting other people's battles. Yes, we got to let it go. It's draining. These people use up our skills, and then you get nothing out of it. And it creates stress in your life. It creates stress in your life. And this is especially true if you are a naturally nurturing person, which many of us are. Many of us are just naturally nurturing, and we jump into action, and you got to stop it, or you're going to end up stressing yourself out. You're going to end up stressing yourself out, and that other person is going to be doing just fine, doing what it is that they do. Because guess what? They're releasing their stress. They're telling everybody all about their problem, and they're moving on in their life. And you are sitting there trying to figure out their problem and doing all of these things that you should not be doing. Some of us need to, and I love that Monique says, stop fighting other people's battles. Not only stop fighting other people's battles, but as soon as something happens in the news, what's the first thing we want to go protest? Sometimes we need to let the other people protest. Okay, sometimes we just need to let the other people do the protest. We need to sit back and just allow them to do the protest. You sit back, you relax, because you got other things to do. You need to rest. Some of us just need to take a nap, go on a long walk, go on a long walk. Let me tell you something that, and how about take a bubble bath? When was the last time you took a nice long bubble bath? When was the last time? Well, let me ask you this. I don't know about y'all, but you know a thing that causes me stress? This hair, baby, this hair. How many of y'all, can we be honest? How many of y'all, we talking about living stress-free in 2024, you struggle, you get up, you trying to get these wigs on, you trying to get this weave in, you trying to curl hair, you trying, girl, look here. This hair is causing us stress. You see what I'm wearing? I'm wearing my natural hair up in a ponytail, and I just took a little out to the side. And when I went to get my hair done, I told that girl, look there, this was out, and it was curled, and it was all cute and stuff. Look here, I tucked that thing behind my ears, and I said, you know what? I'm not about to let this hair stress me out. How many of y'all are letting that hair stress y'all out? Wear that natural hair. Wear your natural hair. Or maybe it's easier for you to wear a wig, but don't let it stress you out. Don't let it stress you out. There are some people who will not leave out the house because their lace front is showing from their wig. There are some people who will not leave out unless they have on a full face of makeup. That's stress, y'all. That's stress. I'm just saying, the hair is a major portion of our stress. We don't want to go to school. We don't want to go to work. We don't want people to see us with our hair when it's not in what we consider a perfect format. Next thing, we're going to talk about supplements. Many of us are not getting the things that we need. A lot of us are already vitamin B12 and vitamin D deficient, and we just keep operating as if we don't know it. We belong out in the sun. The sun is what gives us a lot of our vitamins. And if you're like me, I don't go out a lot because guess what? I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, and it's about 20 degrees outside. Although the sun is shining bright, I'm not going out in that. I'm always cold. I'm not going out there. So I'm in the house, and all I got is artificial light. So I need to have a real supplement plan. And so I do. I take the Black Girl Magic vitamins. I take iron pills. I take vitamin D3, vitamin B12. I take ashwagandha and something else. And I also use oregano oil and a couple other things. We do turmeric and what's the other one? I can't even think of it. Oh, and ginger root. And, making sure that I have something that makes my body feel good. And so do you have, like, we will take the time to do a skincare routine, and some of us are not taking the time to do that, but are you taking the time to do a supplement routine. And the supplements don't have to come through vitamins, they can come through food, but many of us are not getting the supplements through food. And so we are getting it through vitamins. Here's a real simple one: drink more water. Drink more water. I'm telling you, it's life changing. You trying to do that skincare routine and put them 15 oils and chemicals on your face. If you simply drink more water, you will see a lot of your facial issues clear up. You will see a lot of it clear up. And then some of us, we need to visit the doctor because we're having a hormonal imbalance and we're just suffering through. You do not have to suffer through. It is natural for your body to go through perimenopause and menopause. And there are things that you can get to help you through that. But because we think that this is just how it has to be, we just allow ourselves to struggle and we don't even go to get it checked out. I'm telling you, you can live a stress-free life. That's stressful. That is stressful. That's right. Monique says, get your blood work yearly. Your blood work will tell where you are in menopause. If you're in perimenopause, if you're in menopause, where you're at in it, and it'll tell you a lot of other things about diabetes, stressors in your blood work, and all of that. But we have to make ourselves the priority. And doesn't it create less stress when you know that blood work wise, you're okay, when you know that your heart is working at the right rate, when you know that things are well internally in your body according to the charts and the data? Doesn't that take away stress? Or would you rather be stressed out every time you have a situation? You're wondering if it's this. I wonder if I'm pre-diabetic. I wonder if this. That's stressful. So if you just make the appointment, let me tell you the little hack that I use for my appointment. And this is especially for people who are in the school system. Now, this is for any job, but those of us who are in the school system, because we have major breaks during the year, I always schedule my annual appointment during my winter break. So we were normally out somewhere around December 20th through like January 3rd or 4th, something like that. Every year I would schedule my appointment around December 28th, 29th. I would go in, I would get my blood work, do a yearly physical, and then I always schedule my OBGYN appointment in August right before school starts. And so August and December are the days that I do my appointment. I do my OBGYN and they do blood work there. And then I also do my mammogram. It's at the same location in August because I don't have to worry about the school schedule. And then in December on that break, then I do my yearly and my annual physical and that second set of blood work and just get checked out by the doctor. And so that allows me to be stress-free because I know that I've been in to see the doctor. Should I get sick? Should I come down with anything? A lot of times I don't have to go in. I can just send a message through the portal and they will prescribe me something because they've seen me. They've laid eyes on me. They have current blood work on file to be able to say, well, we know it's not this because she just got blood work 3 weeks ago. So let's just give her an allergy pill or whatever. So we need to get those appointments in. Ian Henderson says another thing to do in 2024 to be stress-free is to take time for yourself. Walk alone for about 20 minutes and just declutter and clear your mind. That is so true. Now, I like to walk with my dog. Now, it's too cold right now. But when spring comes, and our spring comes here in March. So our winter is really the second week of February through the the second week of January through the third week of February. That's when our real winter hits. And so during that time, that 6-week time, I'm in the house a lot. But I love to take a nice 20-minute walk leisurely. I know people say take a brisk walk, get your heart moving. Guess what? Everything does not have to be for a purpose. Like we don't have to have everything be so purposeful. I get my dog chain, and I just walk around the neighborhood and I intentionally try not to think about things. I look at the leaves on the trees. I look at the houses. I look at the grass. I look at the cars. I look at all of the things. I just pay attention and I let go of all of those thoughts that are in my mind. Sometimes my dog will pull me into a different direction. Yes, I look at the clouds. Do you know that we don't take the time to look at the clouds and to see what they look like? What shape are they? And it's just an amazing leisurely walk with no, like while we know it has health benefits, I'm going for my mind. I'm going for myself. And so I think that's a great idea. Some of us need to add it on because a lot of times we'll just let our dogs outside. Let's take the dog for a walk or take yourself for a walk. Take yourself for a walk. Sidra says, I need to drink more water. One of the things that I do whenever I go live, I have a bottle of water sitting right beside me. And my goal is to drink that water whenever I'm working in a group, whenever I'm on a Zoom, whenever I'm doing a PD, whenever I'm doing a session. I tell the people on the session that you'll see me drink water because I have a water goal. Because for many of us, we'll be more accountable to other people than we will be to ourselves. And so that's part of why I do that, so that when they see me drink, and I've already said it, so it's activated in my mind. But yes, drinking more water will help your body cleanse the toxins, and it'll also help your skin to clear up. And for all of us who have a skincare routine, just add that as part of your skincare routine. Yes, Monique, God has made such a beautiful world, and we need to spend time in it and stop being so worried about taking care of other people. And when we do that, you're gonna see that your life is gonna be a lot less stressed. Another thing, make your bed in the morning. Simple things, people. Make your bed in the morning, because then that signals that it does something to your brain. Okay, it does something to your brain. It makes you feel accomplished, and when you come home, the bed is made. Now, I'm not telling you to make your bed to add more stress to your day. I'm telling you, it takes 2 minutes to make your bed. But the impact that it's going to have on your body and on your brain is what's going to help you to live that stress-free life in 2024, because you're starting your day off feeling a lot more accomplished. Some of us need to just simply buy some new clothes. We need to get a wardrobe that makes us feel good. I'm just saying, we're wearing clothes that was from 10, 15, 20 years ago, and that's the person that we were. Who are you today? And how do you want to show up in the world? And what makes you feel good? And what's the fabric that feels good on your skin? It doesn't mean that you have to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe today, but you can go out and buy a couple of pieces. And the next time that you're looking for a piece, go ahead and get a piece that really speaks to you. Don't just get it because it was cheap. Don't just get it because it was on sale. Get the things that really speak to you, that are going to make you feel good and you feel like you look good in the item as well. Simple things. Consume less sugar. Take in less sugar. One of the things, we removed all sugar from our household and replaced it with honey. That was a simple adjustment. So we use natural raw honey, and we don't use the refined sugar. We use honey. We use agave. I will sometimes use stevia, but we made a commitment to stop consuming so much sugar. It's better for you, and it's better for your body. Monique says, "Wow, the person you were, never thought about that." Yeah, and now here we are. We are much older now. How do you want to show up? Like, how do you want people to see you? How do you want to feel? How do you want to represent yourself? And I think about that when I'm buying my clothes. Another part of living a stress-free life in 2024, girl, plan that vacation. Plan those vacation days. It drives me crazy. I was talking to an educator. It may have been 2 or 3 weeks ago. And listen here, that lady says she has 181 PTO days. 181 PTO days. She said she has not taken a day off in the past 7 years. Now, you are not going to tell me that in a 7-year time period, you have awakened every day feeling 100% mentally, spiritually, and physically. You're not going to tell me that there has not been a situation where you needed to take time for yourself to go do. See, this is what creates the stress. We're trying to make sure that we are 100% at work, but we are only 30% in the rest of our lives. Just like right now, our we have three vehicles, and all of the tags are out on our vehicle. Well, the license, the DMV closes at 5 p.m. If I were at work and when I was in the school system, I was in the school system until 5 p.m. The place doesn't open till 8. They're open from 8 to 5. So how do you go and get your license plates renewed if you work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and DMV is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5? How are you doing that? How are you not missing any days in 7 whole years? You have 181 days of PTO, and you're saying this like this is something to be celebrated. And then she's looking a little sideways because they told her she's getting ready to retire in the next 2 years. And they told her she would only get paid $25 a day for each one of those days. Now you're being ripped off. Now you're being ripped off. You see what I'm saying? So we got to get this together, people. We got to get this together. Plan your vacation days. How do you live a stress-free life in 2024? Plan your vacation days. Live your life by design and not by default. Live your life by design. Where do you want to go? What are the experiences you want to have? What are the things you want to see? We're going to the Black Rodeo in June of this year in Fort Worth, Texas. I've always wanted to do something like that, but I didn't know what it was. And then when I saw an advertisement for it, I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that. And then I looked up the information to see what it's like. We're going on a cruise for Christmas. It's a very inexpensive way to celebrate the holidays with your family. It's already planned. That takes the stress away. It gives you something to look forward to and something to anticipate. So, plan your vacation days. What else are we doing? I'm going to Aruba in 2 weeks. It's my birthday, anniversary, Valentine's Day. I'm going to be in Aruba in a sunshine place because it's going to be super cold here. And every year for my birthday, because it's always snowy and cold, instead of counting on other people, instead of letting the weather ruin my birthday and being surprised by the snowstorm that may or may not show up, I plan my birthday somewhere where the snowstorm is not going to show up. And so this year I'll be in Aruba. What else? We're doing the Black Rodeo. Oh, we wanted to see LeBron James. You know, LeBron James has been playing for almost 20 years. And how much longer is he really going to play? We want to see LeBron James play. Well, the tickets in LA were way more expensive. But guess what? He's going to Memphis to play the Memphis Grizzlies, where the cost is a whole lot cheaper. So we bought tickets to see the LA Lakers against the Memphis Grizzlies. And we also wanted to see Ja Morant, but now he out for the rest of the season because he's injured. But I'm saying, plan your vacation. What are the experiences you want? What are the things you want to do? How do you want to spend your time? Maybe you just want to lay back and relax. Maybe you want to take a solo trip. Maybe you want to take a girlfriend trip. Maybe you want to take a sister's trip. What is the thing you want to do? Plan it. Put it on the calendar, and I'm telling you, it's going to make you feel so much better because now you have something to look forward to, something to anticipate, and you know that you're about to have a lot of fun. Monique says, I love this. Also, listening to your podcast will spread the word about the work you are doing. She has to go. Okay, thank you, Monique. Thank you, thank you. And then the other thing I want you to do is listen to your body. Listen to your body. When your body says that there is something wrong, when your body says that you are not feeling well, pay attention to what your body needs. Our body speaks to us, but we have to be willing to listen. But I tell you what, if you continue to ignore the signs, if you continue to ignore the signs that your body is giving you, it's going to send some distress signals. And that's where the stress comes. So if you listen to your body, acknowledge it, and figure out a remedy for it. Don't just listen to it and then complain about it. Figure out a remedy for it. And then there are just so many things that we can do to live a stress-free life. First of all, I want you to resist burnout. I want you to say, I'm not doing that burnout thing. I'm not letting anything burn me out. I'm going to be full of energy. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to take care of my body. I'm going to take care of my mental needs, my physical needs, my spiritual needs. I'm going to do the things that I need to do. I will not do this burnout thing. Too many of us are accepting this burnout and this midlife crisis and all of these negative things in our lives when if we know this is the path that a lot of other people are taking, if we know that this is what's happening to a lot of other people, let's figure out what they are doing and let's choose not to do that. And that's why I came here today, because I want you to be able to communicate your needs to yourself and to others, and to look at other people's lives and say, I don't want to live my life like that. A lot of us need to simply resist this burnout, release and resist this idea of a midlife crisis. I personally believe that this is the time when women are most powerful. You know what you want, you know what you don't want. You're more financially stable at this age. You know the people who are in your corner, you know the people who are not. You know the behaviors that you need to stop, and you know the behaviors that you need to adapt. And if you don't know, you know there are places that you can go to figure it out and to learn it. And so we need to resist this idea of burnout and crisis and going down and decline and all of those negative things. Sidra says, I'm looking for a jazz or R&B festival to attend. Oh my goodness. And I know they have plenty of them. But you're right. And of course, I already know Sidra done searched online, and be willing to travel out of state. Like, I didn't know that Janet Jackson and Nelly are coming here. I'm a Janet Jackson fan, and I'm definitely a Nelly fan. And once I started asking around about upcoming concerts, that's how I learned about Drake coming, Janet Jackson, learned about all types of things, all types of shows and concerts that are coming. And so I think that's a really great point, Sidra. Thinking about, who do you want to see live perform? What comedy shows do you want to go see? One of the things that I want to do is a murder mystery dinner theater. And I voiced it. I said I want to go to a murder mystery dinner theater. I went to one probably about 20 years ago. It was a lot of fun, and I want to do that again. And before I could get the words out of my mouth, little did I know there is one at the Hilton Frontenac here that they do 2 times a month. An acting crew comes in to do it, and I'm definitely getting tickets to it. But we have to know what it is we want, what it is we want to do, how it is we want to exist. We have a summer jazz festival here in St. Louis, and it's in the park. It's absolutely free. You bring your blankets. It's at one of the best parks in the United States, rated as one of the best parks in the United States. It's our Forest Park. It's absolutely beautiful and amazing. And they bring a jazz festival here. We also have a Shakespeare festival that happens every year in that same park as well. So a lot of times we have a lot of amazing things happening in our own community, but because we've been so absorbed in the school system, we've been so absorbed in the school day and taking care of everybody else, we don't even know those things are happening. So I get it, Sidra. Find your jazz or R&B festival that you're going to attend. Find your live events that you want to go to. But that's the thing, taking the time like this morning to really figure out what it is that you want to do. Ian Henderson says, this was amazing. Glad I hopped on. Have an amazing week. Yes, have an amazing week. So let's make sure that we're practicing self-care. Let's make sure that we're doing the things that we need to do. Go ahead and subscribe, share this live to anybody who you know that can benefit, and all women need this. Like, we need to really be able to sit down and think about how we're going to live a stress-free life in 2024. Also, don't forget to get the book, Self-Care for Black Women. I can't pronounce her name, who's the author, so I'm just showing you what it looks like. It's a very small book. It is maybe 185 pages, and it's not even 8 by 10. So it's going to give you lots of ideas and suggestions in there. I definitely recommend that you all give it a try. I come live every week on YouTube. I also have Instagram and Facebook at Educators Moving On. And this is really about just living the life of our dreams, figuring out what it is we want and going forward, letting go of fear. And even if you're not going to let go of it, move in spite of it. Keep moving with the fear, but don't let it stop you. And you can have everything that you've dreamed of. Abundance is your birthright, but you got to know what it is you want and then be willing to go for it and be all in with it. So thank y'all for joining me this morning. I'll come back next week, but I drop videos all week. You can expect 2 or 3 videos to drop on this page. I also have a podcast, as Monique said. Check out the podcast. I love to have you all as subscribers. And if you have show ideas, drop them into the chat. I read the chat. I respond to the chat. So drop them in the chat. I would love to do topics that you all would love to hear about. I do a whole lot of travel. I can show how I pack. I can show how I plan. I can show how I determine the trips that I'm going on, what excursions I'm going to do. We do a lot with our family. We have a huge family and we do a lot of travel. We took 15 to Puerto Rico. And, just tell me what you want me to talk about. I'm really trying to figure out what is going to be the pillars of my channel. I love travel. I love being free. I love dreaming big. I love the idea of having income without a job. I love that, we can monetize our skills. So tell me what it is you want to hear, and I'm more than happy to talk about it. Sidra says, thanks for this wonderful way to start my Sunday. All right, so let's get to working on that Sunday reset. Write down what our week is going to look like, what we need to implement, what we need to let go of, and let's get it going. I'll talk to y'all later.